Good morning, gang. Happy Tuesday morning. All right, yeah, it's 4:30. I'm up early. Okay, cruising on through, paying attention to what's going on. Of course, what concerns me most right now is the state of store shelves. I mean, we could talk about Carney winning yesterday's election. We could talk about India, Pakistan. We could talk about Russia, Ukraine, the Pope, anything, all right? Yeah, all those things are out there to pay attention to, but the most important one is the store shelves. Y'all remember COVID, okay? When the massive run on toilet paper, or you go in there and there was no ground beef. Hell, we just went through, there were no eggs. Imagine that tenfold, okay? Any of you that ever worked anywhere in the supply chain industry or anything that had to deal with getting product know the difference between just-in-time delivery and just-in-case delivery. It's been about 30 years, and most businesses in the U.S. have moved to a just-in-time inventory system. And what that means is they calculate algorithm or whatever, exactly how many blueberries, for example, they sell in a week. And so they order just enough blueberries or just enough Band-Aids or whatever it is to get them through that week. And then they schedule their next shipment for the end of the week. So as we sell the last one, the next one shows up, all right? Just in case was what we used to be on, where a store would keep supply on hand, okay? They may had a box of extra Band-Aids in the back. Blueberries, not so much because they're perishable, okay? But, yeah, you went into the store, and you guys remember this. You wanted to buy a Barbie doll for your daughter for Christmas, and there were 20 of them. Now you go into the store and there's 2 on the shelf. Why? Because the store figures, hey, we just sell 2 a week, so we'll keep 2 and we'll have 2 more delivered next week, and then there'll always be 1 or 2 on the shelves for the amount of people that buy it. It kept their costs way down. They didn't have money sitting in inventory. They didn't have to pay for warehouse space. It was a boon to the bottom line for the businesses. And in a lot of cases, it made a lot of sense, especially in the days that we're in now, where products improve so quickly that, okay, I don't want to buy, 50 iPhone 16s and keep them in the little AT&T store or whatever you have, because I'm not going to sell that many. So I'll keep 3, because that's what we're going to get. And by the time I sell those 3, iPhone's going to be out with the iPhone 17 or whatever number they're on. Who knows? Okay. Because things keep changing, and it also came up with the term planned obsolescence, okay? That the companies would make something, again, we'll use iPhones as an example, and in 2 years, they planned on that being outdated, and there was something else, and they didn't even need it anymore. So they got the customer to keep buying new, while the stores didn't maintain anything, and it boosted the bottom line, okay? It might be time to go back to just in case. Because with these tariffs going on, and we haven't really seen the effects of it yet, okay? Yeah, you see articles, people bitching about it. We haven't, trust me, the stuff that's on the store shelves was all long before the tariffs came about. I mean, the circle of life of a product, if you will, that's on your store shelf, okay, at best, that was made 8 weeks ago, okay? Let's go back. It's the end of April. So that would mean those are made the end of February. Yeah, okay. We weren't talking about tariffs at that point yet. Nothing had been put in place. You take a look at some of the stories that are going on right now. Amazon and Walmart have already warned that there are going to be less offerings on their website because each one of them, 75 to 80% of the stuff that's sold in their store or online is made in China. They're not going to be able to get it. Okay? Or if they do, it's going to be so drastically expensive, you're not going to want to buy it. Okay? And again, we go back into supply chain issues. Amazon is not going to stock their warehouses with a bunch of stuff that costs double what it did 2 weeks ago. And before you say, oh no, it's not going to cost double, look what Temu and Alibaba and some of these Chinese online places have done. They have added an import tariff fee to the price of goods, to the tune that some of the prices have more than doubled. Okay? The thing is $14 to buy a power strip, for example, plug multiple things into it. But the tariff fee is $17, so now the cost of it, which was $14 last month, is $31 this month. Okay? Made in China. And so, again, as everybody said, this cost was going to be passed down to the consumer. What's the consumer going to do? Sorry, I'm not buying that. Okay? We're all struggling right now, keeping our heads above water with paying for things after Bidenflation. We're still getting out of that. Okay? But now, this China inflation is going to affect us again. I saw yesterday one company, first one I've seen so far, that is fighting back. I mean, sure, granted, there are many companies that were smart. I saw one about a Cowboy Hat Company here a couple of days ago, where all the material that they got from overseas and stuff, they saw this coming and they ordered a boatload of it back in January and February. And so he said, we have enough raw material to make cowboy hats for the next year and a half. Okay, but I'm not in the market for a cowboy hat. How many companies were that smart? Many of you guys know the grocery store Albertsons, okay, and all their subsidiaries, whether it's Jewel Osco up in Chicago or Safeway or, whatever iteration they have for the grocery store. Albertsons announced yesterday, and I give them a lot of kudos for this, they will not be accepting any product from any supplier that adds any tariff surcharge to it. Good. Okay. You figure the margins in a grocery store are somewhere between 1% and 5% as is. So they run on real slim margins. Imagine if they were getting shipments from Temu, and Temu just said, well, the Band-Aids that you bought that used to be $1.40 are now $3.10. Let's use that same Temu deal that from before on the power strip. They know they can't sell it, so they're not going to buy it. So they told their suppliers, either you continue charging us the same stuff or we don't want the product. We're not going to accept it on the delivery dock. What does that mean? Some companies, some suppliers will go, okay, we'll figure out a different product. I don't know, Band-Aids made in America, okay, to get on your store shelves. Great. Some companies are going to go, tough, this is what we're selling it for, I guess you don't get any more. And Safeway's going to go, and Albertsons can go, okay, that's your problem. You just lost the largest grocery store chain, or second, one of the two, I don't forget where they are with Kroger, in the country. Do you want to do the Democrat way of pissing off half your customer base? Go ahead. Okay. So this is the battle we're going to see in the stores. I mean, you think about it. What's that going to mean? There's not going to be as much on the shelves. Or something that you want might not be there at all. Think about the stuff that's made in China. Pretty much everything, okay? But what we buy, the toy industry is going to get crushed, okay? I'm not really in the toy industry, or in the toy market, so that's not going to affect me. The sporting goods industry, same thing. A lot of stuff is made in China. Okay. Louisville Slugger might do a little bit better making baseball bats for T-ball games this year. Just saying, okay? How about electronics? Think about all the electronics you have in your house. And I'm not talking about computerized stuff. Your television, your computer, your cell phone, your coffee maker. Need appliances, your refrigerator, your stove, a dishwasher, microwave oven, made in China. Okay. One of the favorites around here, solar generators, solar panels. Okay. Yeah. Car parts, cars. Okay. Cars don't work without all the parts. Take one part out, important one at least. The car doesn't work anymore. That's going to be a problem. This is what's going on. And I was reading an article this morning. I'll link it below so you can check it out. But it's entitled, "Experts are warning that there will be significant shortages in the United States by the end of next month." This goes into what I was saying a few days ago about shipping. And this article reiterates a lot of the same points that I made a couple of days ago. It's not CBS or NBC or anything like that. This is independent journalism, okay? Somebody that actually went out and gathered the facts, talked to the people, and quoted them by name, not anonymously. Yeah, you go in and you read that. What are experts advising? Make a list of everything that you might need for the second half of this year. If it's made in China, go get it now because you may not be able to get it later. I joked the other day about maybe you should start your Christmas shopping now. Kind of what they were talking about in this article. If you need a new phone, oh my God, I'm planning on getting a new phone the end of the year, you might want to do it now. Might not be able to get it, or a television, or a laptop, or a tablet, or whatever you use. Need a new dishwasher? Need a new refrigerator? We already know the lead time on appliances is ridiculous. It's only going to get worse. I talked about car parts the other day. A few of you guys who are mechanics chimed in the comment section and said, yeah, we're having a hard time getting car parts already. Okay. This is starting to hit us, but we haven't even felt it yet. Give it a couple of weeks. And then when you go into Walmart or Target or go onto Amazon or go into the grocery store and suddenly something that you bought isn't there anymore. And you ask the store clerk, hey, can you tell me where the such and such is? Oh, we don't have any in and we don't know when we're getting any. At this point, use, like I said, a list to figure out what you might need and get it now. And look around, okay? Maybe check the places you wouldn't think. eBay, there's something people don't talk about that often. Facebook Marketplace, for example. Secondhand stuff. You may find what you need there at a better price, no tariffs, okay, than what you can find on Amazon, at a website, at the mall, wherever. This is where our prepping may really kick into, oh my God, why didn't I do it? Because 60% of the vegetables we get that we eat that are in your grocery store in the United States come from overseas, come from a foreign country, mostly Mexico. Okay. But if all of a sudden those get ridiculously expensive, I hope you have a garden planted. A lot of the beef that is in the grocery store that you eat comes from South America, Central America, Mexico. Bet you didn't know that. Okay. A lot of it comes from India. There's a real wild one for you. But what happens when you can't find that? Or, gee, it's twice as expensive as it is now. Hey, honey, let's have steaks for dinner tonight. They're on sale. They're only $37 a pound. Right? This is what's coming. And this is why your prepping is so important. But ramp it up. Get whatever you think you're going to need. Whatever tools, whatever flashlights, batteries, generators, radios. Because going back to before, we still don't know what's going to happen with India, Pakistan, or Russia, Ukraine, or Iran, Israel, or the Pope, or the liberals, or Canada, or anything. And the whole goal of what you're doing is to be ready for anything. Pinball out.